So, you know, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge winglet. It was a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. And the thing is, I do believe there was talk about these things. I believe if we study history, you know, the Confederates were able to shoot pterodactyls, you know, back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online.
Google it
They
yourself.
spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, you know, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge winglet. It was a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so,
what I'm saying is Jesus wrote a dinosaur to work. That's history. It's in the Bible. How to Train Your Dragon.
Historical facts.
And if you don't believe it, do your own research. Pull up Google. You'll find the picture, I promise. Oh my god. Thank you, John Gleason, Godless engineer, for gifting me this beautiful moment. Y'all remember when they tried to cancel Steven Spielberg for posing with an animatronic triceratops animal rights activist?
Back it up.
Hit it from the back.
Cloaca. Historical facts.
Eat my ass, BP. You're down here bailing on the rest of us because you don't want to process your grief and shame like a normal person by drinking and mistreating strangers.
No, Rick. It is you who must nibble my cloaca, or bird asshole.
Everyone knows what a cloaca is.
you know, back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online. They spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, you know, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge winglet. It's a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so,
Paul Bunyan was sharing some Funyuns with his pet velociraptor.
Whoa.
Oh, you thought it was an ox? Roll back the clock. Let me knock the socks off. Historical facts.
I didn't cut out. You heard me. Are you a pervert or something? Okay.
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless Engineer, and today I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologists' claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. You're fine, hun. Sound works? Today, we are going to be taking a look at a fairly old Jon MCray, or Whaddoyoumeme video about why God allows children, or specifically gives children, cancer. So we're going to be taking a look at that today. Now, going into this, I've only somewhat looked at his video, so you're going to get a very fresh look at my reaction to his opinion about this. But what Jon MCray, as well as some other people, including, let's see, I know that Cameron Bertuzzi joined in on it. I think Mike Winger also joined in on various response videos to a Friendly Atheist video talking about several reasons why you might want to not believe in God or may want to doubt God's existence. In any case, he's going to be telling us or explaining to us why we shouldn't be so critical of the God of the Bible as far as kids with cancer goes. So, if you want to fuck around and find out how bad Jon MCray's apologetics are, then please stay tuned. The shit just keeps on coming. All right, so if you guys don't know, here on the channel, we do like to donate a portion of our revenue to some kind of charitable cause each month. This month, we're going to be donating to crap, I forgot to find a fund for children, but we're going to be donating to some kind of children's fund this month. So if you want to send a super chat or become a Skeptic Mafia member or just watch and share our videos, all those things help us donate to great causes like children in need. So if you want to help us out, please do that. Oh, Daniel M says, David says good night. Oh, good night there, David. I hope that you have an awesome weekend. I hope that everything goes great for you. And I guess we'll see you next week there, David. And Daniel, I guess we'll see you at the end of the show where you're going to be giving us your thoughts on the video tonight. So sorry, my my CGM has messed up, so I have to manually take my sugar, and I'm feeling a little low, but maybe I just don't know what my body's telling me right now. So, but we've got a full string tonight. We've got Brocephus that's going to be coming by. Oh, we got Cadence with a super chat. Oh shoot, I don't have the damn notifications going. Oh no.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
It's 52. Yeah, I didn't take any insulin at dinner. Sorry, I'm having to carb up real quick. This is exactly what everybody paid for. See the fat guy chow down some M&Ms. Hmm? Yeah. I know. I'm working on it, honey. Thank you. Okay. Nom noms with GE. All right, so we got Cadence, who says, I hate kids, but whatever, have some charity funds for the hateful, horrible, uncaring atheists, or from hateful, uncaring atheists.
Hey,
Casey said, thanks, Cadence, you're shitty. Daniel said, let's see, Daniel said, also, we should donate to Kids Rock Cancer. I have an explanation in my comment. Okay. Let's see, Kenny said the noms with GE. Daniel M says, have some more M&Ms on me. Thank you. Wizard of Oz did a super chat saying, pancreatic regulation with GE. All right. Okay, so we got a full stream tonight. You know, we've got comments, we've got Today I Learned, we've got Brocephus coming around. As long as I don't pass out, or well, he doesn't pass out, somebody doesn't pass out before then. But we've got all of that going for us tonight. I may have to sit down here in a little bit, depending. But so we're gonna be doing all of that, and we've got the video review to do. So we need to hurry up and crank this shit out, huh? Because y'all just watched me eat a whole bunch of M&Ms, and now I have to. Now we are going to be going into Today I Learned. Woo! I'll manage. Do I need a what? I may want to sit. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. Hold on one second. Yeah.
Does this need to lower or is it?
I think that might be all right.
Drink up, motherfucker. It's
Heather
not getting any
Brown
better.
with a super chat. There we go. Maybe. Oh, my shit froze. Yeah, pretty bad. I'm gonna see how this goes. Hold on. What?
Hey,
No.
dipshit. This person just bought you a bear.
Okay. Maybe that's a little bit better. Let's try to get that microphone out of my. And then shit decided to dial me. Okay, there we go. And now my mouth. Huh? What? There's no sound. Oh. Oh, that's weird. I hope it's not. My audio, everything might be fucked up now. G's gonna sit down. We're just gonna fuck right up then. Okay. I don't know, maybe the desktop audio is kind of fucky right now. Anyways, all right, I had to sit down. Okay, so today I learned. I didn't sing the song. Let me sing it right here. Today I learned. Woohoo! All right. Okay. Nothing like sugar bombing out right before a show. Let's go. All right. So first up on Today I Learned that Ben Franklin's invention of the lightning rod was blamed by church leaders for the 1755 Cape Ann earthquake off the coast of colonial Massachusetts, as his heretical rods, interfered with the artillery of heaven and deprived God of using lightning as tokens of his displeasure. And this was a belief in 1755 about God and lightning. I mean, seriously, did they think like fucking Zeus was up there or some shit? Let's see. Heather Brown said, "Low BG is no fun. Stay sweet." Thank you, Heather. And then Pia Meow Noir says, "Me and my girlfriend can't make kids, but here you go. Wow." Thank you, Pia Meow. I don't know if it's a good thing, what you said, or a bad thing, but in any case, thank you for the super chat. All right. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, I knew that the evangelicals and the Christians at the time kind of really blamed Ben Franklin, for bad shit as far as the lightning rods go. I've never heard them called, one, heretical rods. Two, I didn't know that lightning was the artillery of heaven, or that lightning was tokens of God's displeasure. And three or four, whatever, I can't count. I didn't know that Ben Franklin's supposedly caused an earthquake off of Massachusetts. Sweating like a fucking pig up here. Like a stuffed pig, honey. That's right, a stuffed pig. Not a stuck pig, a stuffed pig. Oh, and... Oh, a whore in church. Yes. Weird that you identify with that there, hun. That will you identify me with that. Sorry. Today I fucked up. Wow. Anyways, all right. Now that that's fixed, let's get back over here. I have a feeling that my camera might periodically get fucked up tonight. Should have restarted before going live. Oh well, hindsight's 2020. All right, next up on Today I learned that a lab made cartilage gel. Lab-made cartilage gel outperforms natural cartilage. Researchers have created the first gel-based cartilage substitute that is even stronger and more durable.
Just a little bit of money.
Oh fuck. Yeah, my sound. It sounds fine on there. Okay. Well, this it's gonna be fucked up or something. Maybe my oh, shit. I think it's my Bluetooth is messed up. No. Hold on. Shift tab. Maybe I can wonder if maybe I can turn my Bluetooth off and then on again. Because that, yeah. Disconnected. Oh, there we go. Connected. Okay. Will my earbuds connect? Shit's getting fucky with GE. A little bit better. Oh, they may be. Wait, what? No, don't do pairing mode. Connect. Connected. Hopefully, it sounds better. No, that's okay. Okay. All right. A little bit of a rough start tonight. Shit's going a little weird. Okay, so yes. Lab-made cartilage gel outperforms natural cartilage. Researchers have created the first gel-based cartilage substitute that is even stronger and more durable. This hydrogel, a material made of water-absorbing polymers, can be pressed and pulled with more force and is 3 times more resistant to wear and tear. Now, my question is, why is it that humans can create a cartilage gel that's better than what's already in the human body? That's my question. Like, how is that possible? If God is the greatest designer ever, and God created our bodies, why is it that he used such shitty fucking material? Who knows? I mean, I certainly don't know. It's rather odd and awkward for God that his creation could potentially design. I swear to Christ, Satan is against us tonight, everybody. What? Oh, okay. So that's my question. It seems weird to me that we as humans, lowly humans, can design something better than God. It just it seems rather weird. So I think it's great that science was able to do this. Maybe this can really help us in the future when our natural cartilage and everything like that goes out. But it's kind of weird how we're like, hey God, we could do this better than you. What fucking happened? You get drunk off of crack and cream soda and was just like, just slap some shit together. And then finally today I learned that all but one of the first cryogenically frozen humans eventually decomposed due to either mismanagement, faulty equipment, or family issues. I don't know what the family issues were that caused the melting, but maybe they couldn't continue paying to keep their family member frozen. I mean, I don't know. Seems rather weird. Let's see. Daniel M had sent a super chat saying, God foiled again by those damn lightning rods. Yeah, God is easily foiled by lightning rods. That's kind of weird. Oh, Jason Kolasik. Shoot. Yeah. Oh. That's because our earbuds aren't working. Oh, I know that's just because of things. Let me see. It's not crack and cream soda, it's crack and cream soda. It's when you take crack and rum and you mix it with Sprite. And it kind of makes this alcoholic cream soda type deal. Maybe this, I don't know why this shit's deciding to like fail now. Connected. Okay, sorry, babe. Okay. now that we got our earbuds back. There we go. Okay. All right. Having a bit of a rough night tonight. Jason Kolasik had said, artificial whale pain. Thank you so much there, Jason Kolasik. Jason also said, like Titan's version.
Hey,
of a whale pain.
This person just bought you a beer.
Thank you so much there, Jason, for buying me a beer. He needs to buy me tech support? Thank you, honey. She just told her engineer husband that we need to buy some tech support. Oh yeah, I can figure it out. I got it. Anyways, so that's all for the Today I Learned tonight, but now you know what we got? Comments! We got some comments to go over, and boy, we got some doozies. Oh yeah? Comments of the day! Prepare to facepalm yourself in the next week! Yeah! Fuck yeah, comments of the day. All right. All right, so first up, we're gonna start out with some shit. So this is actually coming from oh crap, I blocked out his name. He's a very popular Christian evolutionary biologist or biologist. I don't know if he's evolutionary biologist, but anyways, he was on Twitter and he says that science cannot answer all questions, but the ones it does answer lead directly to faith in God. And I have to say that it's rather weird for me to read this because true, science cannot answer all questions. I guess, but I would think that what science can do is describe reality, and that's the reality in which we live in, and so that's the one that we're subject to. So that's what we have to deal with. But I don't think that the questions that it does answer lead directly to faith in God. If anything, every time science answers a question, that makes the gaps in which God can hide in that much smaller. Because like whenever science answers a question, that's one less thing that we need God in order to answer. And so like when, for instance, back in 1755, why was there an earthquake? Well, it wasn't because God was mad at Ben Franklin for diverting his lightning or his heretical rod away from, showing his displeasure. Well, we know that wasn't the case. We know why earthquakes happen. We know why lightning happens. We know why lightning rods work to draw lightning away or rather become what the lightning strikes in order for us to divert it away from things. We know why that happens now, and so we don't need God for that explanation. We just don't need it. So lead is harmlessly to ground. Yes, lead it harmlessly to ground. That's right. Cyrian in the chat right there is saying that lightning rods lead lightning harmlessly to ground. And so it's kind of interesting. You okay? Oh, I'm not. Yeah. And then you just tilt it down a little bit. You're fine. Thank you. No, my camera's very temperamental right now. No, that's okay. But if you think about anything else that we've used God for in the past to explain that science has then shown that we don't need God to explain it, I don't see how science can lead directly to a faith in God. Now that's not to say that, you can't be scientific, or be scientifically minded and also believe in God. I just don't think that science really leads us to faith in God necessarily. Shit, I think I'm frozen again. Fuck. I am. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Try to see if I can fix something real quick. Transition override. Okay. All right, hold on. I'm trying to fix. Okay, maybe that worked. I also turned off the very special little intro for this, so. All right, light is good. Camera's hopefully not going to fuck me over again. All right, so next up, we've got this little meme right here that says, and I don't know if this was meant to be a trolling meme or what, but this is what it says. Just as the smoker does not know which cigarette gave him lung cancer, the masturbator does not know which masturbation pledged his soul to Beelzebub. I mean, I don't know why masturbation has to pledge your soul to Beelzebub or Satan. Like, I don't know why that has to be a thing. Although I do have to say that I love, this is why I think it might be like a trolley kind of picture, because the actual artwork here for the meme is just fantastic. Like, you've got the blur, the little bit of a Gaussian blur on the background, like Satan angel, and then you've got the guy holding the Holy Bible up right there. Like, that's, I feel like that's really, really good. And so it's I don't know, it's really good, and I feel like it might be a trolley kind of meme here, but I don't know why any particular masturbatory adventure has to pledge your soul to Satan. I really don't know if, like, when you get up to heaven, God's like, now hold on, I don't want to shake your hand because I don't know how many times you've yanked it, and I don't know how, He should know. You're right. He should know exactly how many times you yanked it and what you yanked it to. So, I mean, I like how Cadence says masturbatory adventure. That's a quote from GE. Anyways, I don't know. I thought that this was kind of funny. Because there are people who think that, you know, masturbation is going to send you to hell. And so I don't know. I feel like we're getting a lot of weird comments in the side chat right now. Jason Kolsik says, shake my left hand then. Oh, how do we know you didn't do, what is it called? The stranger? It's like where you sit on your hand and you let it get like that tingly numb, and then you masturbate.
Hey, y'all know what? Anytime is a good time for a beer.
Casey's looking at me like, how the fuck do you know this? It's in a movie. It's called, I think it's actually Clerks, maybe? You sit on your hand till it goes numb and you get the tingly feeling, and then you masturbate so it feels like somebody else is masturbating. Anyways. Next up, Hassan Davis. He's got a way to get around the whole Noah and all the animals on the ark. So this person says, well, I assume that Noah took live animals instead of simply gathering their embryos and sperm. Let's humble ourselves and acknowledge that people in the past were potentially as advanced or even more so than we are today. Well, if we had evidence of that, then sure, but we don't. There's no evidence of an advanced civilization in our past. Trust me. Also, how do you think they gathered the eggs, for one, or the embryo? Well, embryos are a fertilized egg, right? Like that would be an embryo. So he's really talking about eggs here, right? So, for one, how did you gather the eggs? Two, more importantly, how did you gather the sperm of every animal?
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
I mean, I don't think I'm the one that's drinking the beer right now. I mean, I think this person right here is fucking drunk. Because, I mean, you're talking about going around and masturbating like all of these, like jerking off all of these animals. Not to mention, like, you know, some of the other animals that it would be a little hard to jerk them off, collect their sperm, or maybe you're doing a little dissecting on it, which kind of makes you a psychopath, right? I mean, that's one of the key characteristics of a serial killer, right? Is you start, you know, cutting open little animals and shit. This, I don't know. You could go pretty dark with this. Yes, honey, this is weird. Casey's in the side chat saying this is weird. Daniel M says, I tried the stranger once. You just end up racking yourself. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by racking yourself, but I'm sure that it's not a good feeling. All right. So next up is Nick Adams, who says, President Trump has never lied. President Trump has never committed a crime. The courts are deeply invested in proving that wrong right now. President Trump is always right. President Trump's only fault is being too honest, and his only weakness is loving America too much. Oh, fuck. My camera died again. Apparently my fix did not exactly alleviate my problems.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but every time you donate, the Lord cries.
Fuck yeah, the Lord cries. Daniel M says hitting yourself in the balls. That's what racking is. I could have looked it up on Urban Dictionary, but thank you for explaining there, Daniel M. I appreciate it. So obviously this is all kind of crazy right here. President Trump has never lied. That's not true. There's I think he's had 30,000 lies during his presidency alone, or 30,000 times where he said something that was not true or misleading. Right. President Trump has never committed a crime. Even before Trump's presidency, that's not true. I do believe that there was an equal housing thing that wasn't exactly kosher. So I mean, even before then, I think that was a little bit, especially recently with Trump's CFO saying that he's participated in a 15-year tax fraud scheme. Now I don't know what role Trump has to play in that, so I don't know if Trump has committed a crime, but certainly his business has. Well, and yeah, I mean, I feel like we know that Trump has committed crimes, but he's yet to be charged. He was impeached a couple of times while president, but but the Senate decided not to take any kind of action. Anyways, all right, and no, definitely Trump's his only fault being that he's too honest. That's fucking not true. And his only weakness is loving America too much. That's just pure horse shit. Yeah. Oh, I had I had the one thing that you had put in there, honey, but it didn't make it into my folder. I'm so sorry. I'll probably have that on the comments video that's coming up. Let's see. This next one is kind of conspiracy theory-ish. Rick Wiles thinks that meatless foods can alter human DNA in order to cause human beings to no longer be technically classified as humans. A plot that would make it impossible for them to be saved by Christ. I mean, come on. Fucking seriously? This is just way too fucking much. In my opinion, because we've known him, we've known Trump, or not Trump, sorry, Rick Wiles here, to be rather crazy in general, but claiming that the meatless food, the food that's made out of veggies, is going to change our DNA. This is also the guy that thinks that the COVID vaccine was changing our DNA. Yeah, we already eat vegetables. I mean, when we had the Impossible meat, I couldn't exactly process it all that well. So, I mean, that's why we really haven't, dove back into that. Yes, that's true. Also, it's disgusting. But anyways, I don't know how this means that people can't be saved by Christ. That all of this just seems to be pointless word salad. Next up on the crazy shit is this person from Conspiracy who says, does anyone else see the parallels between the continued attempts by the establishment to take down President Trump and the Jews' treatment of Jesus before his eventual crucifixion?
2 Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
Polly Pocket says, my mom is visiting, so I can't stay, but just wanted to say hi. Thank you, Polly Pockets. I appreciate you for stopping by. So no, I don't see it. I don't see how any of this is reminiscent of Jesus's persecution. This right here is just some projection-y shit. Also, it kind of sounds like the racist Nazi kind of rhetoric right here. Okay? That's what that sounds like. So, whatever, fuck off. We don't, nobody needs your bullshit there. And then I do believe I have the one that you have, that you put up tonight there, hun. So this person says, correct me if I am wrong. Atheism simply believes there isn't a higher order of consciousness. So yeah, let's answer this first. No, it's not believing in a God. It's not like a necessarily a positive belief, like saying that we believe there isn't a higher power. It's that we don't believe in like a higher power. Like we just simply don't believe in any higher power. It's not for the most part, as far as atheist goes, it's not like some positive assertion that a higher power doesn't exist or something like that. But next up, but agnosticism believes there to be one, just that it doesn't know its purpose, just as humans are to bees. Yeah, hun, these are stupid definitions. Because agnosticism is just what do you know about God, right? Do you know if God exists or do you not know if God exists? It's not about what you believe, it's about what you know. So if you're agnostic about whether or not God exists, it just simply means that you don't know whether or not God exists. I would consider myself to be an agnostic atheist because I don't know whether or not a God exists, but I don't believe in one. No. Right. Thank you for reminding me of that. There is the pure agnostic position where they don't know whether or not a God exists, and they also don't know what they believe about God. So there's that. And then they give an example like the bees have no clue about the purpose of us beekeeping. Most of them? I don't know what that most of them is about. The bees have no clue about the purpose of us beekeeping. Most of them. I don't know how that makes sense as a sentence, but whatever. I feel like this person's just all around not correct. And then finally, we just want to get this message out there. We all need to get behind this message, apparently. The FBI is an asshole. If you need an asshole, call the FBI because they will take it up the ass. Yeah, the FBI is asshole. I feel like this person maybe should have went to school a little bit longer. That's your favorite sign? The FBI is asshole? Yeah. I mean, I feel like I feel like this gets the basic point across while, dropping out in the 4th grade. FBI is asshole! Somebody suggested that maybe it's as shoe. The FBI is as shoe. What could that mean? I don't know. Jason Kolosek says no one expects the agnostic position. Comfy chair.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but every time you donate, the Lord cries.
So y'all just go on ahead, keep super chatting and making the Lord cry himself to sleep. Banta Blue says most of the bees don't know about beekeeping. Most of them. That means some do.
To Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
I can just see it right now. Like one bee's like telling Terry, the other bee, "Hey man, should we tell them about the giant people that love to keep us in these boxes all the time?" No, they all just want to keep following that queen over there. They don't know that there's a bigger man working behind the scenes, fucking stealing our honey and shit. Fucking. I don't know what in the hell is going on with my camera tonight. It is supremely fucked. Okay, I think I really need to restart, but it's too late to restart shit. All right. So that's going to be it for the comments tonight. Although, do y'all know what we got next? Bro Cephas is coming by. He's going to have to sit his ass down though, because I can't stand up right now. All right, here we, oh shit. Hold on. Let me fix this and then we'll go directly to Bro Cephas. Okay, here we go. Shitty ass science. Bring on the answers of science shit really wrong. Well. Hey there.
Doing?
I'm doing okay. I had to wake up and everything and put on my glasses and stuff for y'all. I hope y'all appreciate me doing all this explaining and shit. And why the fuck are we sitting tonight? I was told. Oh shit! The camera failed. Here I am. Shitty ass science. Fuck me. And the fucking ass with a baker. Oh shit. Oh, I missed he missed a deviant outcast thing. Okay, hold on. Sacrifice the heathen godlessness of the tech difficulty. Lick, smack, smooch, and remember, be a member, not a whale member. Whale peen. Anyways, alright, here I am to explain some shit to y'all. What do we got tonight? How did she move where her hair was growing from? Well, I don't know if y'all know this, but whoever this is that Britney Spears? No, it's just some random person. I guess, I don't know, she might be famous or something. Is it Jamie Lynn Spears? I don't know. Anyways, see, there are some people that are technically lizard people out there, okay? And I do believe this is a lizard person because they can relocate where their hair starts. And I mean, this would make sense if she was hiding behind a mask and she was wearing a bodysuit that's made to look like she's a human person. Okay? I mean, lizard people, they can look however they want to. Okay? So, I mean, it may or may not be the same person, but I can tell you, it's a lizard person. Let me do my TED Talk. Is this your time? KC just said, all the time is her time, you bitch. Damn. Biatch, everybody's asking for you to be mic'd, by the way. Oh, okay. Now you're going to let me do my TED Talk? People. She said she's going to let me finish. Fuck. I pay my rent around here. GE's not drinking tonight? Shit. Must be a special occasion or something. Anyways, these are lizard people. They can change easily where their hair grows from. They can even change the entire makeup of their face. So I don't know who this lizard person is, but obviously they are changing things up. And when they do, they can't get it in the right spot every single time, okay? It's like, oh, does it go over here? Does it go over there? We don't know. We don't know who this lizard person is. So I appreciate this lizard person for all the lizard things they do. You know what happened? You know that weird thing where the lizard will eat their own skin? That's probably what happened. You see, the first picture is them from whenever in the fuck, and then they ate their own skin when they shed it, and then that's what they turned into with the new skin. So they could still move around their hair and everything like that. Like, they can position it however they want to. They can grow from anywhere, really. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, that's going to be it for me tonight. I best get out of here before this camera fails on me or something. GE's got some shitty fucking technical equipment up in here. I'm telling you. Woo! What? I mean, I wouldn't know anything about costs. I just pay my rent around this motherfucking place. Anyways, I hope you heathens have a lovely weekend, and I will try to make sure that GE don't die on camera. I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to go and fuck yourselves and burn in hell. Wait a second. How does this work? Does that work? No? Well, shit me a brick. Shitty ass science. Bring on the answers. Some science shit really wrong. I don't know what you're laughing about. I just told your entire audience to go to hell. I'm hateful. I'm gonna go get drunk and pass out in my room with my covers, my blanket. Bye. Well, bye. Bye, Felicia. Fuck you. God damn, bro, Cephas. We'll take that blankie away. Shit. He is very rude. All right, now that we scared off Braxton Hunter from being in the chat. He was in the chat earlier. I saw him. Yeah, I'm actually gonna check my sugar real quick before we get into this shit show that is Jon MCray, which I accidentally misspelled his name. That wasn't my intent. I just, while I was writing his name, I had flashbacks to 2019. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. It's going up. It's a little bit better. It's going up. Hopefully. No, I mean, it's still going up, so I guess we'll check back here in a little bit. And then we'll have to run out to Kroger and pay $375 for more test strips. No, I'm fine. I was just making a joke. I know, I was just making a joke about the high cost of diabetic supplies.
Ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Oh, there it is. Got it. I'm gonna need that. Who's your buddy says, GE, you missed all the smack Bro Cephas was talking about you. I think you should raise his rent if he's going to be so ungrateful. You know, that's a fabulous idea. I'm going to raise your rent to actually paying rent, bitch. He always likes to act like he pays money here, but he fucking doesn't. He just sort of lives off the land. Yeah, we catch him stealing peppers and shit from our little garden we got growing in our backyard. So at least he eats vegetables. That's right. Thank you, Who's Your Buddy, for your super chat there. I really appreciate you. All right, so we got Jon MCray tonight. Let's get to it. And we're to it. All right, so McCray's a little blurry at first. It gets a little bit better on into it. So tonight we are discussing Jon MCray's position on whether or not or why exactly God allows kids to get cancer or gives kids cancer. It's my understanding, maybe I can get this out of the way first. So it's my understanding in the Christian theology that God creates all of us, like God knitted us in our mother's womb before we're born. God plans out our entire life. God you know, God gives us free will, but at the same time, he knows all of the decisions that we're going to make in our life, which kind of makes it a little bit of weird, you know, kind of thing on the whole free will deal. But the point is that apparently God knits us in the womb, and God, you know, creates us and stuff. And so with that in mind, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me why God would give kids cancer or create kids that would get cancer, or why does cancer even exist in the first place? I really don't understand why God would think that cancer would be like giving somebody cancer, forcing them to live with all of the horrible shit that comes with cancer, and then depending on the type of cancer you get, you could die or you could beat it. I don't understand that. So it seems to me like there's no good reason to give somebody cancer. Whatever you hope to accomplish by giving somebody cancer, I'm fairly certain that you could accomplish something similar in a different way that does not involve cancer, or that doesn't involve any suffering at all. Like there's definitely avenues that are unexplored by God that would accomplish whatever he's trying to accomplish without the need for this kind of shit. So that's my understanding of it. Or, well, that's my understanding of Christian theology behind it. And then that's my problems with the theology of Christianity. So let's see if Jon MCray here can, you know, convince me otherwise, convince me away from that position. I doubt it, but let's see.
Yo, this video is part of a playlist. If you want to watch the whole playlist, you know what I'm saying, I say you go ahead and watch the playlist. And if so, go ahead and click the link down below in the description. Let's go ahead and get started. What argument do we have today that proves that God does not exist? What argument are we going to consider today that proves that God does not exist? Let's go ahead and hear it. Hit me. No, I meant hit me with the next objection.
PDF.
Casey started singing, which she's still not mic'd, by the way. She's
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
This is beautiful, honey. Yeah, we should nominate you for a Grammy. You agree? You know, to write that beginning there with the hit me with it or whatnot, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with a 4 out of 10. I feel like he could probably put a little bit more emotion into that. He could definitely, you know, really sell it on the whole smacking thing. Like, I don't know, the fact that there's a cut and then there's just sound of slapping, and then he's acting like he got slapped. Like, I don't know. I've been the full 9 before and actually, you know, done the slapping or been slapped or had water thrown on me or whatnot. Just feel like you could actually put a little bit more effort into that. But that's why I give it about a 4 out of 10 there for that. But anyways, let's see what he's got. Yeah, that's what I said before.
Action.
Pediatric cancer.
Okay, that was a very short argument. Let's hear it again.
Pediatric cancer.
I think I got this one. So the argument is, because I can't think of any good reason why God would allow children to have cancer, therefore there couldn't possibly be a good reason. Right?
Yeah, that's my question there, hun. Is there a good reason to give kids cancer? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit like I can't think of a good reason to give a child cancer. Like, if I get that MCray here is trying to suggest that there could be a good reason for a kid to get cancer, but anybody that's either known somebody that has had cancer or that has had cancer themselves, or just has watched a movie about people with cancer, would know that there is no good reason to give somebody cancer unless you're Wade Wilson.
Not
or to not prevent it if you can. There's no good reason not to prevent cancer. But as I was going, I mean, Wade Wilson, you know, Deadpool, he had cancer riddling his body, and that forced him into his mutation, and that drove him insane and gave us Deadpool. Okay? So, I mean, if you want to go that route, I guess, I don't know. I still think that you could have probably given Deadpool his mutant abilities without the need for cancer. So no, not even on the Deadpool argument could you really defend giving somebody cancer. Like that's just a horrible, it's one, a horrible way to live with cancer. Two, it's a horrible way to die because of cancer. Like all of it's just fucking horrible. Oh, they must have done something to deserve it. Yep. I mean, that's got to be the answer, right, hun? That Hellbound Hillbilly said that toddler could be an asshole. He could deserve it. I guess that's God's position on it. Well, I created him to be a little shit, so I gave him cancer. I mean, everybody would understand if they knew what I knew, right?
Okay. Got it. Now, believe it or not, and I'm genuine when I say this video is actually a breath of fresh air. And the reason I say so is because the last two videos that I did in this series were not clear at all. It was pretty hard to see how it led to, therefore God does not exist. But in this video, it's a lot easier to understand. The argument is basically because God allows children to have cancer, therefore God does not exist. As usual, and because I'm somewhat of a nice guy, somewhat of a nice guy, then I'm going to go ahead and make this argument better than it actually is in its current form. The argument in its strongest form that I'm aware of would be something like, if God exists and he's all loving, then he wouldn't allow bad things to happen to innocent children. Bad things happen to innocent children, like children getting cancer. Therefore, God cannot exist.
Or God is totally evil. Well, so this right here, this argument right here is an argument specifically against any omnibenevolent God. And most often, you know, people of the Abrahamic faith, they claim that their God is omnibenevolent. And so that's what this argument is against. Most people are confronted with either Christianity or Islam or some Abrahamic type of religion. So therefore, I mean, that's generally what people associate it with. So most people are going to sit there and, you know, assume an Abrahamic God. So that's why they would probably say, well, God doesn't exist. Technically, what they're saying is that the Abrahamic God doesn't exist. And I would agree that the problem of suffering is a pretty big problem for Christian theology and Abrahamic gods in general. So, or versions of the Abrahamic God in general. So, I mean, MCray is expanding upon the, you know, pediatric cancer point that Hemant Mehta was making. And I really should have looked up the original video from Hemant Mehta. It was a long time ago. And, you know, these three guys, I think, Jon MCray, Cameron Bertuzzi, and Mike Winger, they kind of went through all of Hemant's points against, you know, this omnibenevolent version of God existing. I don't think that this argument, the problem of suffering, works for every single idea about God, because obviously if you're not claiming that your God is omnibenevolent, then, you know, this argument's not going to mean anything. You can have a God and he be an asshole and cause suffering all over the world, right? So, I mean, this is obviously very specific to the omnibenevolent theistic type of God.
God cannot exist. All right, story time. So for those that don't know, I have the most incredibly adorable 2 baby boys on the entire planet, right? Right now, they're 5 months old and 4 years old. And I just love my boys. When it came time for me to take my oldest boy to the dentist for the first time, I did what any dad would do. Rather than putting him through torture and having him hate me, I told my wife that she had to take him. So when that didn't work, I ended up at
not a solution to. I know that he's saying it as a joke here. Obviously, he's saying it as a joke. I'm not trying to criticize him, but I pawned my kid off on my wife. Told her to take him. I mean, honestly, I would be first in line to take Xander to the dentist. I mean, I've never been the kind of I guess father to not want to do the fatherly things, which I'm not trying to suggest that Jon MCray here is not wanting to do the fatherly things. Obviously, I'm just speaking about myself here. You know, I've always been the dad to, like, you know, I'll change his diaper. I mean, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me if he's got a bunch of shit in his diaper or not. I mean, it's always kind of perplexed me those times when, you know, dads get praised for watching the kids, because it's like, well, you know, they're their dad. That's kind of their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to criticize Jon MCray on this. I thought that was kind of funny and a little lighthearted thing. There. Daniel M says, I can't say his kids aren't cute, but David is super cute. Yeah, Daniel's kid is super cute. You got a super cute kid there, Daniel.
The dentist office, sitting there with my boy, and as usual, the dentist comes in and the dentist tries to make him happy, tries to make him laugh, and he just was not having it. He was just terrified of the dentist and would not chill out for a second to let the dentist start looking inside of his mouth. So at this point, he starts screaming, he starts crying, and he starts reaching for me. And instead of me reaching for him, grabbing him, and taking him from the dentist, instead, what I had to do was actually hold him down so that way the dentist can continue to look inside of his mouth. Not only could he not understand why I didn't save him when he's reaching out for me, but he also couldn't understand why I actually held him down and allowed him to suffer. And for me, it was really kind of difficult at this point, to be straight up with you. And the reason why is because I wanted him to understand, but I knew that there wasn't anything that I could say that he could understand. I mean, he was barely, you know, kind of getting through basic language at this point. He just couldn't understand the language or even these big concepts of the greater good. Now, in a similar way, I don't see any reason why it couldn't be the same with God. If God created the entire universe and he knows everything there is to know, then he would also know how everything must go together for the greater good, even if we couldn't see it or comprehend it. And just
I think you might be getting into a caveat here in a second, because I remember a caveat there, but he's trying to compare taking his son to the dentist, which is a good thing, and you know, the son being scared, obviously, and then having to, you know, well, I mean, not comfort his son during it, but forcing his son to go through with it and everything like that. I don't see how that's comparable to a child with cancer or like real suffering. Like he characterizes this as suffering, but at the same time, this is not the kind of suffering that we're talking about here. This is not like the kind of suffering where a child is dying of starvation and like people just aren't doing anything about it or whatnot. Like this is not comparable whatsoever. So I understand the point that Jon MCray is trying to make here. I understand that he's like, oh, well, you know, his kid has to suffer because it's ultimately good for him. And you can make that kind of argument for a dentist chair. Like going to see the dentist, you can make an argument for that. There are real benefits to that. What are the benefits to cancer or a child starving to death in the streets or any of the horrible things that happen to children? Like, how can you really make a case for a child having cancer as being like a good thing that we just don't even comprehend yet? They're gonna die. And I mean, maybe the good thing is that, oh, well, then they'll get to heaven faster. Well, then fucking God can just blink his life out of existence. God doesn't have to put that child through the most horrible pain that they can imagine. God doesn't have to sit there and watch a child starve to death in the streets. God also doesn't have to sit back and watch a priest molest a kid so many times that they end up killing themselves later in life. Like, God doesn't have to allow these things to happen. God can snap and change shit in an instant. He's like fucking Thanos up there with the goddamn reality stone. He can make reality whatever he wants. but he doesn't choose to. I'm not saying that God has to make this reality without suffering, but I feel like the most egregious versions of suffering out there, he could definitely just fucking blink away. Vanta Blue says, I love that the offhand just proved that prayers are unneeded. Oh, I love that he offhand just proved that prayers are unneeded. If God already has a plan, prayers do nothing. The plan won't change. Right.
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
Like people praying for cancer patients. What's the point in that? God is obviously meant for that person to have cancer for a reason. It's either for God's own shits and giggles that he wants to put that person through the worst pain in their life, or whatever fucking reason else. But if the point is that that child or that person is fast tracked to God in the afterlife, then God could figure out a better way so that it minimizes the suffering. Like, I'm not saying get rid of suffering, but minimizes it. And to sit there and claim that, oh, well, maybe God just knows how this is good for us and we're just too myopic or we're just too ignorant to understand why uncontrolled cancer in children is a good thing. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to suggest that, you know, there's a good reason why people should be suffering. Like, that's beyond me. That's beyond my compassion. Like, if God can think of a good reason why somebody should suffer through cancer, then I feel like I'm a much better and much more morally just person than God has ever been.
Just like my son, who was too little to understand the greater good, how much more would it be for an infinite God that knows literally everything? Therefore, we couldn't possibly know all of the reasons for why God allows suffering to happen. Now, I should probably make this clear because I know how the internet gets. The comparison is not between the dentist and having cancer. That's not the comparison. The comparison is just to highlight how limited our minds are and our limited cognition. That's all. But if you...
Well, but you see, you have to understand, though, that the analogy between cancer patients and son at the dentist, you can make a good justification for your son suffering through the dentist, right? That version of suffering, like that kind of suffering, you can make a good case for needing to go through that kind of suffering. And the problem that I see is that there is no good reason to put somebody through cancer, let alone a child. Okay? So it's not a matter of being myopic. It's not a matter of being ignorant or having limited knowledge. It's literally not a matter of any of that. The problem is that there literally is no good reason.
Quit drinking all that beer, GE.
There literally is no good reason to put somebody through that amount of pain and suffering in order for them to just die in the end. There are other ways for people to die. They can die in their sleep, just one day, dead. You know, that's happened to a number of people in my own family. They've died in their sleep. So, what? A whore for likes? Yeah, is it the Kreenan guy? Oh yeah, you banned him? Good.
And all I did was ask him not to make personal attacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do have very few rules for our chat, but most importantly, don't be a dickbag. And that was a dickbag thing to say. So Ethan Styles in the comments said, as a childhood cancer survivor, I wholeheartedly agree, GE. Fuck cancer. Yeah, definitely. Fuck cancer. Because you can literally think of the pure fact that there exists so many other different ways to accomplish whatever you're looking to accomplish with cancer. Do anything else. That is needless suffering. By just maybe it's just a matter of compassion. Like, I have more compassion than God does. If God feels that it's necessary to put somebody through cancer as a child or even as an adult, at any point in somebody's life to put them through cancer, I feel like, I have more compassion than whoever that could be that thinks that's necessary.
Really think about it, sometimes in life we are able to see the greater good that comes from suffering, and we see how it made us better people. A lot of people would say that even though they went through something absolutely horrible, they wouldn't take it back for anything. And they say the reason they wouldn't take it back is because it made them better people and it made them who they were today.
Well, true, but you just like I can't rule out that some good could come out of some kind of suffering, except cancer, because fuck cancer. It's equally as likely that the exact same result could have come about through a different path, like a different set of things that happened. You can't sit there and rule all of that out just because this was the conclusion of this one path of suffering. You simply can't say, well, that was the only way in order to get to that particular conclusion, right? There's no way that you can say that. You could definitely propose that there are multiple different ways in order to accomplish whatever you're looking to accomplish. So it literally makes no sense to focus on, well, good shit happened because of this suffering, so therefore that suffering had to happen. No, it didn't. It didn't have to happen. There could have been various other ways in which to get to that particular conclusion. Alex Baranowski says the ends don't justify the means. Exactly. That's a lot better wording than I came up with. So thank you there, Alex.
I'm not saying that happens in every case, but that's one example of how we can see good come from suffering that otherwise couldn't be achieved if that suffering was not there.
Another bit of nuance to make here is, what do we mean by suffering? Because in this particular argument, we're not focused on, like, I guess what you could call minor suffering, right? Like having to suffer through a dentist appointment. That would be a minor thing, I would think. Depends on what you get done. Well, I just because I wouldn't like even if you suffered, let's say you had a root canal and you had a swollen jaw for like a month or whatnot. No, that's not. That works. Oh, my camera fucked up again. But what let's just say you had to. Oh, fuck me. Damn it. Let's just say that you had like a swollen jaw for a month or something like that for whatever fucking reason. Like I think that that's more of a minor bit of suffering than like a child starving elsewhere in the world, or some of the other types of suffering that are really hard on your health, that causes needless suffering, and things of that sort. Like those are the kind of things that I'm talking about here. We're not, when we're talking about suffering in this particular context, we're talking about, children with cancer, children that, haven't had the time yet to do something horrible in their life or anything like that. Not that anything that you could do would require getting cancer or would justify getting cancer. I'm just saying that, like, these are kids that are suffering some of the worst pain that you could imagine, having to go through all of it, that are having to suffer day in and day out, and they fight for their lives. And to sit there and suggest, oh, you got cancer for a good reason, like, that's just shitty, in my opinion. Like, it's shitty to try to say that you got it for a good reason or some shit like that.
To Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
Nidemos, Nitty says, dentists and shot examples are the P's to the turducken of suffering, not comparable. I agree. And I know I've been kind of rambling about all that for a minute, but we'll get back to the video now.
With that perspective in mind, how does it follow that if bad things happen, God does not exist? The only thing that follows from if bad things happen would be that we don't know the reasons for why God would allow bad things to happen. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't exist.
Well, on a bit of a nuance here, I agree that just because suffering does exist, that doesn't mean that God doesn't exist. But more specifically, I would say that suffering existing definitely proves that, you know, this God that could or could not exist is not omnibenevolent. If the God that exists is the God of the Bible, and the God of the Bible being omnibenevolent, then it seems to me like suffering existing in general is not would not be a thing if God was truly omnibenevolent. And the fact that we as humans, with our limited perception of the universe, with our limited knowledge, know that there's no good reason for needless suffering in this reality, but yet needless suffering exists. I think that is good enough to show that, you know, this omnibenevolent God of the Bible doesn't exist. So it's a little bit like he's putting it in a bit more of a grander scope than I think that it actually is. But I definitely think that this is a good argument against the Abrahamic God, but I wouldn't go as far as to say, oh, this proves God doesn't exist. But then again, that's my agnostic atheist side that's showing here.
Happen, but that doesn't mean that God doesn't exist. And lastly, I just want to say the fact that greater goods come from suffering is especially evident on Christianity. So why does God allow suffering? I don't know. But what I do know is that on Christianity, the answer can't be because he doesn't care and he doesn't love us.
I mean, try to rationalize this sentence real quick. God loves me so much, and he has so much passion or compassion for me that he gave me cancer. Like, can you imagine rationalizing that for any other person or figure or character at all? Like, oh my God, he loves me so much and he cares about me so much that he gave me an STD. What? Oh yeah, he filled me with cancer. That's how he loves me. Are you fucking serious right now? Like, giving somebody cancer does not scream love to me or compassion. I don't see how you can say, oh, this being loves me so much, he gave me cancer, or he allowed me to get cancer. Or what about this being loves and cares about me so much, he let Father McFeely really ram it to me in the rectory. Like, he gave it to me hard, but it was for a good reason, and God knows that reason. I just can't fathom, like, being okay with that being said of anybody else. I like how the entire chat right now is only concerned with Shannon and Zod and everybody else being in the chat. And everybody's like, GE, just keep ranting. We're over here having fun with everybody else. Fuck you.
I said somebody got called twice. Zod showed up. 100% proof. Zod is vice.
Zod is viced. Anyways, I'm so glad to see Shannon and Zod, and I saw Digital Hammurabi in the chat earlier. Pay attention, John is saying words.
I'm just over here whoring for likes.
You're whoring for likes?
Yep.
You're a like whore, honey.
Yep. That was the JV vice.
Zod's the JV Vice Rhino, yeah. But
Vice is playing D&D.
Oh, Vice is playing D&D. So there's no way we're getting Viced here.
No.
Unless maybe we roll a D20. I've got a few D20s back there. We can roll a 20 for initiative. Oh man. Anyways, okay, let's continue with McRay's video here.
On the contrary, God actually lowered himself to become a victim of injustice and violence on earth. And what did he do when he came to earth? He suffered. In Christianity, the greatest conceivable good is when God actually took on human flesh and came into our world to provide a way for us to be rightly related to him. And he did that through suffering. So the reason
So this whole message of Christianity really kind of boggles me, because it's like, oh, well, God suffered for a little bit and then died and resurrected. Oh, okay. Good for him. Like, you're talking, like, listen, if you really compare it, did God suffer as Jesus all that much? Like, is that really suffering for him? Because if you consider it, God's an eternal being, eternity. And then for a 30-year period, maybe, he became human, apparently. And then for, what was it? Half a day, maybe? Half a day he suffered and died. Half a day. He suffered for half a day? Casey said, fucking cry me a river, you little bitch. Like, I'm not all that convinced by an eternal being, you know, suffering for half a day and then continuing on his eternal way. Like, that doesn't, like, if you compare the amount of time he spent not suffering to the time he spent suffering, I mean, it's not, it's barely registering. Like, if you put that shit on the pie graph, like, the outline of the sliver that would be the amount of time God suffered would be bigger than the amount of time that God suffered. So, I mean, it's crazy to me to sit there and use that as like, oh, well, God suffered and he absolved all the sins of the world. Oh, are you kidding? What are sins? Well, sins are when you transgress God's commandments and what God wants. Oh, so you mean that God took on human form and had people beat him and persecute him in a BDSM-like manner and then crucify him and he died, all to change his own opinion? Like, that's what it did. Sins are transgressing God's opinion. God felt it necessary to kill himself in order to change his own opinion about things. Like, how does that make sense? Like, I get it. All the Christians that are watching this right now that are probably not even still here, they're sitting there like, that's not what it is. That's a really bad, like, exegesis or whatever in the fuck of my religion. That's horrible. But, oh, fuck me. God was like, fuck this shit. Thou shalt not blaspheme. But I don't understand how, like, that was the only option for God. Like, why couldn't God just change his opinion on things? Like, why was the blood of Jesus necessary? I mean, Paul explains why it's necessary, because, you know, when Jesus died and he had a whole new body that was created that was without sin, you know, that's what our future resurrection bodies are. So as long as we believe in Christ, we get these nice new pristine Cadillac or Lexus versions of our bodies. You know, just imagine my body, but without the fat and a working pancreas. That's the future resurrection body that would be waiting for me. And that's how you get into heaven or whatnot, because it's a sinless body that was made from the promise instead of David's nutsack. So, you know, that, like, Paul explains like that in that kind of way, it makes sense. But in the way that current Christians kind of understand this absolution of sins, like, why couldn't God just sort of, you know, change his mind, like with a flick of his wrist and a twinkle of his dick? He could have changed his mind about what pissed him off about humanity. But no, he didn't. He decided to go down to earth, get whipped a little bit, and then die on a cross like a pansy ass bitch. Yeah. The
diverse global family. Fourth.
Shut up, William Lane Craig.
A new job.
We don't want you tonight. That was last week. Anyways. All right, let's he's only got a little bit left. I don't know if he has much here.
The reason why there's suffering in this world can't be because God doesn't care, at least not in Christianity. So that's...
Oh, yes, God definitely cares about watching people suffer. God definitely loves sitting back in his lazy boy, flipping the channels between kids starving to death in Africa, the Holocaust, as well as the cancer ward at whatever hospital, the pediatric cancer ward. God loves flipping between those channels and seeing all of that suffering. I mean, maybe God's a dick. I don't, still, like, if you describe a person as showing love and compassion by watching children die of cancer, is that really love and compassion? If you apply that to any other figure at all, whether he's real or magical, let's say we're, you know, the Loch Ness Monster loves to watch children die of cancer or some shit. Yeah, rude. The Loch Ness Monster would be a dick. Anybody else would be a dick. That fucking leprechaun from those goddamn Leprechaun movies, he's a fucking dick. And but I mean, at least he doesn't watch, you know, cancer patients die. I mean, I guess maybe he could. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he would be more apt to just go right ahead and kill people rather than watch them suffer. You know? But anyways, I don't get it. This does not scream compassion to me, and I will never understand why it's showing compassion. If there are any apologists that are still watching this and made it through the whole, you know, calling Jesus a pansy ass bitch on a cross, it's odd that my camera went down right at that moment. Yeah. I'm not gonna believe now. Nope, because it's just a fucking camera. And it's a USB, like, or it's a Bluetooth or it's a USB, like, bus board issue. But anyways, so, fuck, what was I saying? God threw me off. Fuck you. Oh yeah. If there's any apologist that made it through the whole pansy ass, Jesus dying on a cross thing, explain to me, how is it showing compassion to give a child cancer, or to allow a child to get cancer, or to allow a child to be raped by, you know, a priest or a pastor or uncle or anybody? What, how is that showing compassion? You know? God's like, I don't have to fucking tell you shit, but I will turn off your camera. Suffer, bitch.
Does it for this objection. Go ahead and click this link right here so you can hop in the playlist, because I want to see you over at that next video, because that objection should be pretty fun. All right, see you guys over there. Peace.
Peace. Peace out, yo. Sorry. Anyways, that's going to be it for Jon MCray's video tonight. We do have the Skeptic Mafia comments to go through, but all in all, for this video, I didn't find it all that convincing. I get that Jon MCray there, or Whaddoyoumeme, wasn't trying to use his analogy of his son going to the dentist as a comparable amount of suffering or whatever to, you know, children dying of cancer. I get that. But at the same time, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why you would consider being given cancer to be compassion. And it's literally nothing about, like, there's nothing about being given cancer or having cancer that could show compassion. Whatever you're hoping to accomplish by allowing somebody or giving somebody cancer, I think that you could accomplish it, you know, another way, like a different way, unless you're like a mad scientist that's studying the effects of cancer or cancer treatments. I mean, other than that, which I don't think that God would be doing, but other than that, which that would still make that scientist an asshole, by the way, that's totally unethical. I think in any other respects, people would paint this God character's actions as far as, you know, causing people to suffer or creating the situations for people to suffer and studying that or watching that happen and unfold. Everybody would call that unethical if it was done by anybody else. But because it's done by God, and apparently God has the ultimate authority over everything, God can do it and not be a dick. But in any case, I'm not convinced by Jon MCray's video. I don't see how allowing kids to get cancer or allowing any kind of needless suffering to be actually showing compassion. It seems like a bass-ackwards thing to say, and I'm very not convinced that the God of the Bible exists, because there might be a good reason for somebody to have cancer out there. I think that, like I've been saying this entire time, I think that anything that you could hope to accomplish by giving somebody cancer, you could definitely accomplish without that kind of needless suffering. There's if God is all knowing, then he knows a way to accomplish whatever he's going to do without giving somebody cancer or allowing somebody to have cancer. So, I mean, until you can convince me out of that, then I will forever think that God is just a giant dick up there in heaven, stroking his ego while watching people needlessly suffer. That kind of seems like what the Christians are painting God as, in my opinion. So that's going to be it for the show tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know that I did. If you will, please go down below and let me know in the comments what you thought about tonight's video. My sugar did eventually start to go up, so hopefully it's still careening in that particular direction, but we'll find out soon. If you will, while you're down there in the comments leaving me your thoughts, why don't you smash that like button? Right now there are 98 likes and 138 people watching. What are you doing? Before you leave out, smash the like button. And hey, if you're not subscribed, then please go on ahead and subscribe. You made it this far. You made it through all of the nasty potty mouth shit. You might as well subscribe, because we got more shit coming. Like next week, in case Braxton Hunter's still watching, I'm covering one of his videos. That'll be Monday. And then I got a special surprise that'll definitely rustle the jimmies out there, especially in the TikTok sphere. So that'll be coming on Thursday. So I hope that you guys will stick around for that. We're going to be going into the Skeptic Mafia comments. So before we do that, though, if you're leaving out, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. And don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. But don't go, because we got the Skeptic Mafia coming. Skeptic Mafia is going to be letting us know what they think about Jon MCray's opinion here. And I can guarantee you... Oh, you did? Apparently, it's our channel's birthday. Yeah, you've come so far. Just imagine where your community will be at next year. Keep it going. to like 2012, I think. Huh? Yeah, well, August 15th, 2013 is the start date for the channel. So no, we're 9, not 10 yet. We'll be 10 next year. But we turned 9 this past Monday. Interesting. 9 years old. Look at that. Yeah. By 2050, we hope to get close to 100,000 subscribers. Only you can make that happen by 2050. Oh man. All right, hold on. Let me. Oh, Shannon said, "Beaver, this is a beaver." Oh, okay. This is a beaver. Yep.
Hey, y'all know what? Anytime is a good time.
Thank you, Drunk Shannon, for giving us a beaver. It feels dirty saying that, but okay. Casey said, "Thank you for sharing your beaver." Oh man. Luckily Paul kind of likes me. All right. So let's get on over here to the Shannon said beaver is love, beaver is life. All right, let's get on over here before my camera dies on us. All right. So Daniel M's the first one up, saying the argument is that if your version of God exists and this God is so fucking loving, then your God should be able to stop that. We do not see that in reality. When we, the human race, realizes there's nothing to stop cancer but other people, we end up having breakthroughs in science that will help us treat such ailments. Join the Skeptic Mafia and play with the whale dong. We should probably get some kind of beaver related thing in there too. I have to take a pause for a moment. St. Louis has lost one of its greats. Jeff Burton from The Point lost his battle with cancer Monday. He was a radio personality who co-hosted the Rizzuto Show. I have met him a couple of times at Point Fest and listened to him every morning. I would like to ask GE if we can donate to Kids Rock Cancer next month in Jeff's memory. This was his favorite charity. GE, if you can, will you Google Jeff Burton from St. Louis and show a picture? We love you, Jeff. Rip. Yeah, I can't right now there, Daniel, but we will definitely consider Kids Rock Cancer for a charity 1 month. So thank you so much for letting us know about that particular charity. What? Oh. Drew's book reviews is up next. Hello, GE and Casey and all you other awesome godless heathens. I have nothing to say about the vid because honestly, I find the kids with cancer argument for or against just over and done at this point. So instead, I would just say this month has been awesome. First, I took a trip to Vancouver. Check out the epic vlog video on my channel. To visit another booktuber friend of mine, Epic Tales, pronounces Tales but with a Z. We got to see my favorite band, The Tea Party, make some awesome vids together. 3 of 6 already out. Stay tuned for the next 3, and generally had a great time. And next week, from August 28th to September 4th, I finally get to take a vacation with my family. We were planning to take, but had to delay 2 years due to COVID. Oh, shit. I know that feeling. We were actually supposed to go to Washington, D.C. for Casey's graduation because she got her master's in systems engineering, despite what some dipshits on the internet might say. But she got her master's in systems engineering, and we were supposed to go to Washington D.C. for her graduation, but COVID struck and we couldn't go, so that really sucked. Let's see. We will be going to the Edmonton to stay at West Edmonton Mall, where we have lots of fun at Galaxyland. Galaxyland sounds cool. World Water Park, that sounds awesome. Indoor go-karts, shopping, sea life caverns, and lots of other fun stuff, and of course, book shopping. Anyway, heathens, hope you all have a great night and have been having an awesome summer. Until next time, keep on reading. Thank you so much there, Drew. I really appreciate you. Next up is Jester saying, imagine, if you would, that I was an all-powerful deity. It's okay, I'm not, but you can put away the pitchforks. But imagine I was. Oh, shit. So sorry about that, guys. But imagine I was, and I wanted only the best people to reside with me in paradise. Would I, A, make a pretty horrible and unjust world to temper them for a lifetime and risk their eternal souls by having angelic children born and dying of cancer in a few days or months to people who don't follow me? Then throw pretty much everyone except those who admit that I'm the bestest and let them hang with me after rewiring them to be perfect. Or B, just wire them to be fucking perfect and hang out with them in paradise. I'm pretty sure I know the choice I think an all-loving God would do, but I suppose you think that's an immature notion of mine that makes it so you have to hold me in the dentist chair. I think this analogy sucks because free will and holding someone in a chair are at odds with each other, and on an obvious level, not because I think you're comparing it with cancer. Positive here, though, I do see opposing views in the comments. Have a basic cookie. Negative, I'm 90% sure Hammett explained it and would have mentioned the part where this is significantly against an all-omni deity. Just let him speak. Yeah, I think that Hammett's video was just really quick, like one right after another, maybe. I'm not sure, but in any case, we got a decent argument from Jon MCray, though. So, Michael W. Roble says, "I see. We too stupid to understand. Ote, me good with that." Thank you, Michael, for speaking on God's level. Tomato Priestess Zumi. We missed your chat last, or your comment last week, so I'm glad we're getting to it this week. Tomato says, or well, Zumi technically says, comparing cancer to taking his kid to the dentist. Look, I know he said the two weren't analogous. However, if he'd really thought about that, then why the hell did he make that argument in the first place? Oh, I know. Because there is no good argument for why an innocent child should get cancer, and he was just ad hoc rationalizing it in his head. He thought it was a good argument, but it falls flat. Anyway, time for ASCII, and it's "Are you kidding me?" I like "Are you fucking serious?" is what I like. Anyways, thank you for the ASCII art there, Zumi. Appreciate it. Because seriously, he has to be kidding. But do you know who isn't kidding? Godless Engineer! So if you want, go ahead and give that like button a huge whoppy sloppy lick. Don't do that on your phone though, or your screen. Just do a normal like, not lick. Do the same to the subscribe button and the bell. Hell, go ahead and lick the entire surface of your phone while you're at it. Just lick the whole damn thing. Get in there. Just please make sure you sanitize it first. Anyways, love you all and exit stage right. Thank you, Zumi. Don't lick your phones, guys. Don't do it. Nobody do it. Are you serious one? Yeah, Zumi, do that. All right, next up is Alex Baranowski, who says, that guy's camera has worse focus than me. It's better than mine that decides to kill itself every few minutes. Hey, that's him at Meta, or however you spell his name. I don't think people use pediatric cancer as an argument against God, just an argument against an all-loving, all-powerful God. Does this guy know what a nice guy is? I mean, I feel like most Christians, especially Christian apologists, seem to have this concept of a toxic relationship, but only when it's in the context of God does it not become a toxic relationship. It's just a perfectly normal, happy relationship. But if you applied the same concepts that God applies in his relationship with us to any other relationship, it's definitely toxic and abusive as fuck. Anyhow, he still hasn't made a good point. He did have an entertaining kid dentist story, though. I stopped watching at this point. But I imagine he's going to compare being scared of a dentist to being a child with cancer, and how somehow, in some way, there is a greater good. Excuse me. There is a greater good to this seemingly bad thing. I got her. She yawned over there. Yawn gang. But he is making a category error. A dentist not only doesn't have the explicit purpose of harming the patient, there's an objective progression towards a goal that causes objective good from the dentist. Cancer, on the other hand, does not confer any benefits to the afflicted person, and aside from the possibility of adding extra nitrogen to the ground, isn't beneficial to us. I mean, I suppose I could make the argument that cancer makes us stronger as a species by eliminating the bloodlines most susceptible to it and slows population growth, but I don't think that's the path this guy was trying to take. I also don't understand the idea of death being a pathway to heaven with God. Why is there a need to generate more souls in the first place? Well, listen, okay, here's my little TED talk about why God needs more souls. That's because he doesn't have a lot of like self-worth. And so he needs to create these things called souls and people in order to worship him so that he can feel better about himself, which really, when you put it that way, it makes it kind of sad on God's part, because like, I don't need a lot of people praising me every week. Well, maybe I shouldn't go down that route. I don't need that. But God seems to need that every single like minute of existence is just continuous and literal dick sucking on his part, or well, for him. Anyways, what do I understand? What I do understand is membership with the Skeptic Mafia. For a small bit of dough each month, you can be part of our exclusive GE fan club, where we get content, vote on the video for Friday, and make comments like this where we can make GE say whatever we like. House is the best medical drama ever made. See y'all tonight. House is a good medical drama, although I have heard that it does make plenty of like actual medical people cringe, but whatever. It's a good drama show. Phantom Blue says GE is God, confirmed. Jonathan Nichols says, I remember Hemmett's original video, and I felt when I watched it that Hemmett made a number of very good points. Now we get this Christian guy trying to respond to one of them. Didn't he think that "hit me" line was meant to be funny? I wasn't laughing and became even less amused as he fumbled his way through an attempted rebuttal. I don't see how taking his child to the dentist relates to kids getting cancer. Okay, a young child visiting the dentist will not understand, and some intervention may be necessary, but dental care is usually a few minutes of discomfort providing long-term benefit. How is that analogous to cancer or any other life-threatening illness? He says we can't know the mind of God, but that would include himself, so why is he attempting to speak for a deity he does not know by his own admission? He talks of a greater good, but what greater good could possibly arise from this? His arguments are nonsense. They offer no answer, and they are entirely in line to what I have come to expect from apologists. Someone, please tell me how developing cancer made anyone a better person? Could you give me the learn to appreciate life argument? But there are other ways to teach that lesson, and to put a small child through all of that torment simply in order to teach it a life lesson is cruel, to say the least. Childhood cancer alone may disprove God, but from what I see, if God did exist, wouldn't the fact that he allows for cancer in children show that he is malevolent? Didn't Epicurus say the same about a God who is unwilling to prevent evil? I think he said something similar to that, yeah. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for your comment. Trickster says, first off, I will probably not watch his whole playlist. I didn't watch his whole playlist, but I think that whole playlist is like a rebuttal from like all three of them that joined in on it. And it's like, you know, every single point that Hemet made in his video. The question of God giving or even allowing kids to get cancer does not only mean that a God does not exist, but also is an argument about whether or not God that won't use his superpowers to keep kids from getting cancer deserves to have the same people worship it. Wouldn't it be easier to revere a God that would simply not allow kids to get cancer? The problem is that the God this guy follows reveals in the suffering of man going as far as needed, as far as to need a human sacrifice just to do something with his superpowers could have just said, I am just gonna forgive everyone. There is absolutely no excuse for an all-powerful, all-loving God to give or allow kids to have cancer. It could just allow man to come up with a cure or just do away with cancer, and then maybe more people would be willing to say, hey, maybe this God ain't so bad after all. Push the button, share the video, and if you have a couple of bucks in your pocket, hit that join button and become a Skeptic Mafia and get a lot of cool stuff, such as seeing Friday's video early and leave a comment for GE to read at the end of the show. I'm sure GE can tell you about the other stuff you can get for being a member. GE and KC, don't be so hard on Brocephus. He ain't really so bad, just a little misguided, and don't take his blanket. Fuck, they know. They know what we're going to do to him. We do like Brocephus. He's all right. We'll just actually start charging him rent. You do take good care of Brocephus. And thank you, Trickster, for your comment and your care for Brocephus there. Next is I Heart Dogs, who says, this actually made me sick to my stomach. I am a better person than God. A child would get stronger from suffering with cancer? That's really the bottom line? Of course, the parents have mental anguish, but it's the child with cancer who endures real pain. What a moral monster God is, but also a moral monster defends this? Not only does this not answer the question of why, but Christians are to sit down and just shut up about cancer in children? No, you gross apologist. You're as bad as your God. Damn, that's a pretty damning comment there, I Heart Dogs. I mean, I feel you on it, but damn. Join the Skeptic Mafia so you too can fight against the hypocrisy and get cool perks like the Hangouts, vote on videos, hit the like button, and share. Money Earth. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, part of the perks for the Skeptic Mafia is that there's a Hangout every month. You also get, you know, a podcast that we record. We're doing about 2 podcasts a month right now. But there's a podcast that you get. There's just a lot of great things that come with becoming a member. I try to make it pretty valuable for you guys that are subscribed. So I appreciate y'all. Darren Wright says, what the actual fuck? Did I just hear him correctly? He compared dragging his kid to the dentist as being equal to having a child dealing with cancer. He did nothing but make a complete ass of himself in this video and frankly showed what a giant whale peen his God is. Fuck off. Hey, join the goddamn Skeptic Mafia today. The biggest perk is being you will no longer have to drag your kids kicking and screaming into the dentist's office. Nope, that shit ends here and now. Why, you ask? Well, GE sends on one of his mafioso familia members over, and they just yank the rotten tooth out real quick with a pair of needle nose pliers. Do they slip off on occasion? Sure, but that's still better than what this poor bastard in the video went through. Being forced to take his kids to the dentist? Oh, the humanity! Fuck him. Anyway, there are some other perks to joining, like kick-ass emojis, private chat time with GE, wink wink, and all the other members that show up, but I like to think it's just me and him, one-on-one. Join now! Peace and love. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate you. Next up is Jason Kolasik, who says, really? Why don't you defend genocide or allowing it to happen? So cancer is a greater good? That's a good point there, Jason. And then finally we got Atheist Drew, who says, so old God allows suffering for the greater good combined with we can't know the mind of God BS? This guy rolls out the people say they wouldn't trade their suffering because it made them better people tripe, which we know is total BS. When people suffer, their psyche is traumatized and damaged, and without proper mental health care, which we seriously lack in this country, they do not become better people. This is just an empty platitude to gloss over the undealt with trauma and pain. All this guy's outlook does is reveal his God as a cruel piece of shit who doesn't care, and as a powerless being that cannot keep suffering from happening so much for being an omnipotent, more like impotent, weak, soft, and flaccid. I mean, their God is a dick, might as well as describe him as one. Thank you there, Atheist Drew. I really appreciate your comment there. I do have to say that that's one thing I didn't cover in the actual video response, is that he kind of monolithically painted people that go through, suffering in their life, suffering of one kind or another. And that he fails to recognize that while maybe there's some people that it has that kind of positive effect for, but I would think that the trauma of going through that suffering and needing therapy and all this other stuff in order to overcome that sometimes, I mean, because sometimes you end up with like PTSD or some other mental health problems coming out of that trauma, that you're not a better person, as far as coming out of that trauma like that or that suffering. And so monolithically painting people that go through suffering as coming out the other side all happy and better for it, I think is a bit myopic on his part. But I'm glad that you also agree with that position there, Atheist Drew. Well, that's going to be it for our show tonight. We're finishing right on time, I can tell. I do need to go down and get Xander to bed, which I know he'll moan and groan about. This is just one of those suffering things that, I'm sure Jon MCray would compare to cancer, but it's whatever. I really appreciate all the Skeptic Mafia members out there leaving all their comments. I really appreciate everybody that left a super chat tonight. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. I think that we'll probably, what we're going to do is we're going to donate to kids this month, and Casey and I will discuss what charity to donate to. But, in any case, I really appreciate y'all being here. Sunian says, GE, thank you for powering through. Yeah. I needed to inhale some M&Ms real quick. So appreciate y'all dealing with that for a little while. But, anyways, I hope that you guys have an awesome weekend, an awesome night, and everything like that. We've got a lot of great content that's coming out next week. We're going to continue our way through the Bible. On the Bible study podcast, we've got another clip that'll be posted next week from a conversation I recently had. And then, we'll, on Monday, I'm going to be, tackling Braxton Hunter's video about, the Spider-Man analogy, as far as his, biblical reliability goes. And then we got a very special surprise video on Thursday that I'm sure will cause a lot of maybe a lot of issues. I don't know. We'll see. In any case, I hope that you heathens have an awesome weekend. We will see you guys next week. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.